Julie Love, the Director of Developer Experience with Apryse. I'm excited to be here on this webinar to talk to you about our DOCX Editor. It allows you to edit DOCX documents natively in the browser and embed that into any modern web application. I'm going to talk to you about why we saw the need to create this, as well as the features and functionality and our latest enhancements. We'll then see how your developers can embed this into the web using the framework of their choice. Now, while this is a pre-recorded webinar, we will have people available to answer all of your questions, so please hop into chat at any time and ask those. So why did we build a DOCX editor? Microsoft Office, Google Docs exist, plus there are other applications. So let's look at those options. Google Docs or Microsoft Office, absolutely leaders in this industry, but they have a particular requirement. You have to go and work in their space. So you're going to have users pulling documents down, saving those then to their computer or cloud space, having to go and open it up in these other applications. These are unnecessary steps. Not only that, but you now have data flowing onto additional devices. It becomes very hard to enforce document control retention. How long are those users going to keep those files in those downloaded folders? The dev has lost control of this. So what about the other players, the ones that can be embedded? The problem is a lot of those other applications are relying on third-party software, such as OpenOffice or LibreOffice. They do not give you the best results in a native DOCX editing experience. Some of the others fall back on HTML. You go in and you get the document looking just the way you want, and then you go to save, but this DOCX document does not look the same. HTML format is just not one-to-one with either PDF or DOCX documents. The results are different. Hence, we decided there was a need for a native DOCX editor. So following our flagship product, which you can think of as Adobe Reader Pro in a browser, it allows you to do all things PDF manipulation, markup, collaboration, digital signatures, and a million things. And take the same philosophy, brought the lessons that we learned creating our web viewer with our web SDK, and applied all of that to the DOCX editor. So we got our tech, we nestled it in a WebAssembly module that runs in a browser, built a lovely UI, which you can customize and tailor specific to your workflows, and just continue to make that better. Our latest improvements include lists and incorporating images and table insertion, and our roadmap has a whole series of delighters coming. One point of clarity. We are not replacing Microsoft Office in the browser. That will continue to have many, many features that are very robust. What we did want to do was allow someone in their own application to create a new or edit an existing DOCX document and do things like styling, font selection, insert list bullets, and a few other things that you'll see in the demo. So, benefits of this DOCX editor. You're going to be able to embed it into your web app, not rely on Microsoft Office or any other third-party product. We have better control and enforcement over that document retention, which also is a better user experience. You are keeping your users in your app. They aren't out bouncing around to other things and then bringing those documents back into your system. Which brings us to the last point of the versioning nightmare. Anytime you have people bringing documents back into your system that could have very large conflicts, it can often lead to big problems trying to get those back together. So, DOCX, this editor, just the beginning. There are so many powerful processes that you can pull together when you're using your DOCX editor within the web viewer format. One use case that comes to mind, stock generation. You can use your DOCX editor to create templates. Go in and add your smart tags or those squiggly brackets that you may be familiar with in a mail merge. We can then run these templates through another process, that grabs the JSON or a different data source to replace all of those tags with real data, and then output PDFs and or other files with all of this information. And this is just one example of the many things that you can do. So let's go take a look at the demo. So for our demo, I am taking us to showcase.apryse.com, and I invite you to come back here when you're ready to try this for yourself. We have not only the DocX example, but many other features that are available within WebViewer. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the DocX editor, and I can go ahead and take a look. By default, we've uploaded a sale and purchase agreement here, but when you're back here for yourself, please note that you could upload any of your DocX files and try them out in this interface. So I'm going to go ahead and make a few updates here. Maybe something more current for a purchase agreement is probably good. I can go ahead and add a new party to my agreement. And I'm able to highlight text. I can use my keyboard shortcut or go ahead and use the user interface provided. Now, please note what we're looking at here is happening directly within a DocX document. This is not being converted into anything else. And that's part of the reason that we can have such a good experience and reliable experience updating this document. This also is within the UI that is provided with WebViewer. What you're using here to use DocX in WebViewer is just one extra line of code. So everything else that you're using that would be standard, the UI, any customizations that you've done or themes that you've already applied, you can go ahead and bring into this same experience. So taking a look at the features we have today, we have styling, we have your fonts, as well as you're able to then import custom fonts into this list. You have your standards of using your font size, our styling, we have text color and alignment, as well as some line and paragraph spacing options. We have some of our newer features here for table and image, as well as our bulleted lists, which with the drop down, you can see you have a variety of different bullet and styles to choose from, as well as within your numbered list. So the other thing that is worth looking at, search here on the right. We're able to search this document for any words that you need to look for. It gives you all of those words here, as well as the context for any of those instances that it finds. Then when I find the right one I'm looking for, I can go ahead and click on that. It's going to pop me into that place in the document, so I then could make any updates that I need to that. So now that I've made these changes, they look good. The words and data is flowing correctly across the page. This all looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and come in. I could then print this directly from here, or I can go save as. You can see I can update my file name, and then I can choose, do I want to save this as a Word DocX document, or do I want to convert to a PDF? So you have the options to do either of those here. So let's go ahead and make a new document as well. So I can start from scratch, go ahead and make a exciting new title for my document. And then if I go ahead and change this back to normal text, I can add some normal size information. Or information. Okay, so what else? Let's take a look at the new table feature that we have. So this allows you to bring in a grid of varying sizes here. So I'm going to go ahead and pick a kind of a nice mid-size. I can type my title into here. And you'll notice I can use my arrow keys to go up and down and navigate this. I can add spacing into any of my fields. And then I also have the option to add tables within my table. So if I needed to nest something, I can go ahead and add that here. And what you'll see is that, again, your arrow key is still going to work in a way that is logical. So I can go down And then once I'm out of that nested table, I'm going to come in and out of those, which is just really helpful for getting around in there. Now, I also can add an image. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in a logo here. You can see now, whoop, a bit bigger than I'd like. So I'm going to go ahead and resize that in line here. It just makes it really easy to work with, as well as I can just select this and move it up into a different field. So I'm able to move those images around really easily as well. So we've taken a look at exactly how you can work within this DOCX editor. So let's see how to get your developer started. So while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead to the Get Started area here and pick Documentation. If you didn't happen to be starting there though, please, anytime you can visit at docs.apryse.com. And so if you already have WebViewer running, this is the page we can use to get started in Office. But for those of you who do not yet have it, let's go ahead and take a look at that. Top left here, I'm going to go ahead and get started. If you take a look at the overview page here, you'll notice you have a trial key, and that will be what you'll want to get in place to get this started. If you see here a blurred out area here and a button that says login, we'll just need to get you logged in. That will then produce the key that you can use. Please notice you have various options, including integration via NPM. We have directions for all of that here, as well as a list of common frameworks that can get you started. So if one of these is the one you're working in, this will give you those examples and be tailored to that experience. Once you have that ready to go, we can come back down on the left-hand side here and take a look at Office. I'm going to go ahead and go to this Open Office file. And we were talking about that one line of text to get going with DOCX. This is it. So all you need is that web viewer that we pulled down or that you already have running. And then in order to get started, we're going to add this to add that DOCX component. So one thing that I would advise, if you're already using WebViewer and doing your annotations or your views or any sort of collaboration, you might want to keep those experiences separate. So you could take the component you have now, make a copy, rename it something like DOCX component, and then go ahead and add this line of code to that new copy. That way, then when your user comes into the app, you can find out which activity they're there to do. So if they're reviewing or doing those annotations, you can keep them in that component that you have now. Or if they'd like to update a DOCX document, then pop them into this one. That gives you the flexibility of working in the various formats. And all of this is going to be available within your web app. This just gives you so much flexibility and can make this app something that is really able to help boost productivity for your user and, again, not having to jump out and jump back into a bunch of different programs is just going to make it so much easier and make your web app something that people are just excited to use. I hope you've been able to get some great information today. We still have people answering questions. So again, hop in that chat and we'd be happy to answer those questions for you. Thanks again for joining me, and I look forward to next time.